What's up, Ranger Nation? It's your boy JB, and I'm here today with the review for Power Rangers Beast Morphers. This is episode 21, which is kind of out of place, you guys. And it's titled Boxed In. We've done this quite a few times in Power Rangers history where we've, put an episode in that was not necessarily in place with the other episodes. I know for sure we did it in Power Rangers Ninja Storm because the episode where Tori got the turtle mace, that was out of place. Um, we did it again with we did it again with I know for sure we did it twice, I believe. Actually, we did it three times. We've done it multiple times where we had an episode where we're in, it's out of place, or it was something was released like Shakina's Revenge. That episode was released on VHS, and it was completely before we got a lot of the stuff in the episode, and then we did it again in Power Rangers. What was it? Samurai. With the first episode that wasn't shown, we went straight to episode three, and then also it was done in Samurai with the Clash of Red Rangers. But I guess Hasbro and Nick was giving us an extra episode. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that particularly, but hey, it prolonged the season. It prolonged the first half of the season. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and just talk about this episode. All right, you guys. So this episode it starts the Pan Global Games. If you guys are not familiar with the Pan Global Games, I believe MMPR season three is where we first were introduced to the Pan Global Games, like a tongue twister. It was when Kimberly was leaving the group to go to the Pan Global Games to do gymnastics. So we see our Rangers and they're in grid battle force, and Commander Shaw comes to them, and she tells them that three Rangers need to go check on some of the Morphex towers. So they're like, okay, that's fine. So they're trying to figure out who's gonna go and take care of these towers. Now Ravi, he wants to stay. He wants to be able to go and see the opening, of the Pan Global Games because it's going to be the wrestling competition, and Ravi is, big into wrestling. I did not know that. That's interesting that he's big into wrestling. I'm assuming he's big into wrestling because of his, his strength. I'm guessing. So they say, hey, what we'll do is we'll pull names. So Ravi pulls names. Now he pulls three names. The first name he pulled was Zoe. Then I believe he pulled either Devin or Nate, but he pulled those three names. So those are three that are gonna go and check on the Morphex towers. Now he and Steel are gonna go to the games and check out the games. Now let's jump over to the cyber dimension real quick. So in the cyber dimension, we see Blaze and Roxy. They're watching this, so they're seeing that everyone is distracted by the events of the Pan Global Games. So this is a perfect opportunity for them to attack. And Blaze has a plan that he wants to use, and also we know that in this episode, um, Evox is in our realm pretending to be Mary Daniels. So it's just on Blaze, Roxy, and Scrozzle to do this for the day. So then, yeah. So yeah, this is just like I said, this is just a good chance for those two to send in a Robotron and attack the Rangers, who will be kind of off their guard. So let's move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So I don't necessarily know what this Robotron's name was. It never said his name, but the Robotron showed up while Zoe, Nate, and Devin were checking on the towers. And there's one thing that I did forget to mention. They did give a kind of a little bit of an updated um, the theme song. It was just a little bit updated. It just had another clip in there that we did not see. So this is episode 21. They didn't. Now, one thing I will notice that I did notice in this theme song that they didn't show was the Vivix. So the Vivix, I'm assuming the Vivix. Well, yeah, episode 21. 21 and 22 are usually like 21 and 22 are usually the holiday episodes, like the Halloween episode and the Christmas episode. But this wasn't a Halloween episode or a Christmas episode. So this is just a filler episode basically in the season, which I don't know how it's placed, but yeah. So in this episode, no Vivix. So I'm assuming the Vivix come obviously the Vivids come long before episode 20, long before 20. But again, this episode was just oddly placed, man. Oddly placed and oddly numbered. Because, like I said, the Christmas episode and the Halloween episode are usually. Actually, the Christmas episode is usually 21, right? Or is it 22? Correct me. Correct me in the comment section, you guys. Um. So yeah, the Robotron. He showed up, and he's battling with um Nate, Zoe, and Devin. He's getting the best of them, and then he throws a dumbbell at them, boom, and traps them under the dumbbell. So they have to call for Ravi and Steel to come and help them. Ravi, however, is really upset that they got trapped by a dumbbell. I'm like, wow, what a dick! You're upset that your team got trapped. Like they couldn't. Like he said, he gonna ask them could they have avoided it. Obviously not. If they're trapped under it, Ravi, kind of question is that? Could they have avoided it? Because he's mad because he's missing the opening act of the. I'm like, Ravi, this is your team. Forget whatever's going on with the Pan Global Games and say, hey, my team is in need. Let me go help my team. But God, for him to be that dismissive, ridiculous. So then Commander Shaw calls the Rangers, and she tells them that a Giga Drone is in the city. Because Devin has said that he's going back to Grid Battle Force, brief Commander Shaw on the Morphex Towers, and then the others, they're going to go through the city. Now, so Devin is heading towards, towards Grid Battle Force, correct? And then the others, they're driving through the city. And mind you guys, again, the Pan Global Games have started, so... Oh, that's on my camera. The Pan Global Games have started, so traffic is backed up, so they're stuck in traffic. Stuck in traffic. So then we see Blaze and Roxy, so they materialize in the human world, and they have one of those keys to, make a Gigadrone, and they're at this building, and I guess this is part of Blaze's plan, so Blaze, he just takes the key and sticks it in the building, and you just see it, when with the Morphex energy. And so then we see Devin and Cruz. So Devin and Cruz get inside the Racer Zord, and they go to where the Robotron materializes at in the city, and then the Robotron it just sucks. Well, not the Robotron. The building sucks the Gigadrone and Cruz and Devin and the Racer Zord inside of it, so they're stuck, and now they're inside of a boxing ring. So let's move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So I'm looking at my notes. This episode is really really filler. Like there's nothing dealing with the storyline of this episode. So and I'm still stuck on this number 21. But let's just forget about that for right now. Just talk about the show. So the others they show up to the building where Cruz and Devin got sucked into. When they get there, there's a big monitor on the building, and it shows Devin in there in a he's in there and he's in the boxing ring. Now while he's in the boxing ring, there's an announcer, announcing what's going on between he and the Gigadrone. And then so the others, there's a door, so they go to the door and they try to, Ravi tries to use his strength to open the door, but he's unable to open the door because I don't know why he was unable to open the door. I guess because it's sealed shut. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of that episode on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy when Maya and Kendricks got. It reminds me of that episode of Lost Galaxy when Maya and Kendricks got trapped inside of that dome when Destruxo was looking for the lights of Orion and the boys couldn't get in. They tried to go underground, couldn't get in, and then Magna Defender was able to get in, which I still to this day don't know how Magna Defender was able to get inside of that dome. That's an interesting one. Still don't know that question. But yeah, so they were unable to get in. So then they decide, to use the Striker Zord to try to get in. But unfortunately, the Striker Zord cannot get in. So then, two more Giga Drones materialized. One was already in there, and they were tag teaming, Devin and a Racer Zord, and then another one came down, and then the Rangers like, okay, how about we just attach to that one so that way when it goes in, we go in. Well, unfortunately, that didn't work because when the Gigadrone was sucked into the city the I keep want to say city because of Corinth, but it's not a city. It is a building. Someone said it was sucked into the building. The Rangers were spit right back out. So then some Tronics show up and the Rangers battle the Tronics, and they defeat the Tronics. So Nate comes up with a bright idea. He's like, you know what? How about we use how about we make an Ultra Zord with the Striker Zord and the Beast X King Zord, and that could probably possibly help us get inside of there and help Devin. So then they go back to Grid Battle Force, and Nate comes up with all the schematics for the Beast X King Ultra Zord, which he does, and then so they go back, they combine the Beast X King Ultra Zord with the Striker Zord to make the Beast X King Zord, and the Striker Zord to make the Beast X King Ultra Zord. So they're able to free Devin from the building, which the building is also a Gigadrone. Surprise, surprise. So now they have to fight four, actually, yeah, four Gigadrones because it's three. Actually, that wasn't a Gigadrone, that was a Robotron. That was a Robotron. So three Gigadrones and one Robotron that is just, giant size. So the Rangers do eventually defeat all four of them, and all is good. So now we see them back at Grid Battle Force, and Robbie, he's apologizing for being such a douchebag earlier, which he definitely needed to apologize because you are sitting here grilling your team because a dumbbell was thrown on them and they're trapped. When Steel came, Steel is a robot. Steel couldn't lift it off of him, so it took you and Steel and took your strength to get that dumbbell off of them. And I say, okay, all is fine. But, we might have missed the wrestling part of the playing global games, but we can go to the karate, go for the karate finals. I'm like, karate finals? This would have actually been a good segue for the MMPR Rangers. We all know Kimberly went to the Pan Global Games for gymnastics. You talking about karate? That could have been Tommy, Jason, anybody. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining. It was a okay episode. It wasn't the best. By no means was that the best episode. But you guys, that's basically it for this episode. Like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Share this video, and until the next one, you guys, I will see you guys later. Stay safe, and I will catch you later. Peace out.